Kimiko Date-Krumm is a Japanese professional tennis player. She has won more than 200 tournament matches and won the Japan Open 4 times. In 1994, she was ranked in the top 10 women players in the world, and reached a career-high world number 4. In 1992, the WTA awarded her the Most Improved Player of the Year. After playing in her second Olympic Games, she announced her retirement on September 24, 1996. She returned to tennis nearly 12 years later, announcing an unexpected comeback in April 2008. She has since won several ITF titles. She won her 8th WTA Tour title at the 2009 Hansol Korea Open in Seoul, becoming the second oldest player in the Open era, after Billie Jean King, to win a singles title on the WTA Tour. In 2013 she won 3 WTA International events and reached third round at 2 of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments. At 43 years old, she is the oldest player in the top 100, and almost 10 years older than the next oldest top 100 player, Venus Williams. At the 2014 US Open, she reached the semi-finals of a Grand Slam doubles tournament for the first time in her career. Professional career. In her debut year, 1988, Date played mainly on the ITF circuit. She started playing at the WTA level in 1989. She began 1990 by reaching the 4th round at the Australian Open, where she was defeated in straight sets by 4th seed Helena Swiatkova. The following year, she was runner-up of Virginia Slims of Los Angeles tournament, defeating Sabatini, but losing to Monica Seles in the finals. In 1992, Date defeated Arantxa Nchez Vicario in the Torrey Pan Pacific Open and reached the semi-finals. That year she also won the Japan Open, reached the semi-finals in the Mizuno World Ladies Open, and the quarter-finals in the Lipton Championship and the Grand Slam, Roland Garros. She also participated in the Barcelona Olympics. She also had her best Grand Slam doubles result, reaching the QF of the Australian Open Doubles Championships, partnering Australian Michelle Jagadli. In 1993, Date again won the Japan Open. She was runner-up in the Asia Women's Open and the Nishiraya Ladies Cup. She reached the semi-finals in the Lipton Championships defeating Mary Jo Fernandez. In the US Open, she reached the quarter-finals beating Yana Novotná in the 4th round. In 1994, Date won her 3rd consecutive Japan Open. She won the gold medal in Hiroshima Asia competition. She reached the semi-finals of the Australian Open and the Virginia Slims Championships. In 1995, Date won the Torrey PPO, and was runner-up in the Lipton Championships and the Japan Open. In the semi-finals of the Lipton Championships in Key Biscayne, Kimiko staged a dramatic comeback against Sabatini after Sabatini took a 6-1, 5-1 lead. Bothered by a sore shoulder, Kimiko saved 3 match points, beating Sabatini 1-6, 7-6, 7-2, 7-6, 7-4. Date's next opponent in the final was defending champion Steffi Graf, whom she had yet to beat in 4 previous meetings. Steffi prevailed 6-1, 6-4, ending Kimiko's remarkable run at the title. She reached the semi-finals in Roland Garros, and the quarter-finals at Wimbledon. Date also reached her career high of world number 4 in 1995. In 1996, Date reached her 200th win in tournament play. She also won both singles and doubles in the Japan Open. In the Fed Cup, she defeated Graf for the first time in an epic encounter, winning 12-10 in the 3rd set. Date reached the semi-final at Wimbledon after beating Mary Pierce in the quarter-final, then battling Graf over 2 days in the semi-final. Trailing 0-5 in the first set, she stormed back in the second set. Although the chair umpire initially refused to call off the match due to darkness despite Graf's plea, he changed his mind and postponed the final set until the next day. Steffi Graf swiftly won that and her 7th title there. Kimiko Date also won a major tournament in San Diego and reached the quarter-finals in the 1996 Summer Olympic Games. Her last match was at the second round of 1996 WTA Tour Championships. She lost to Martina Hingis 1-6, 2-6. Date made a brief comeback on September 16, 2002 when she received a wildcard to play in the doubles event of the Japan Open Tennis Championships held in Tokyo. She paired up with compatriot Mio Saki and faced Cara Black and Elena Likovtseva in the first round, but the team was forced to retire after losing the first set 3-6 due to Date suffering a left Achilles tendon injury. Comeback, 2008. On April 6, 2008, nearly 12 years after retiring, Date announced she would return to the Women's Professional Tour at the age of 37. Date qualified for the 50K ITF Kangaroo Cup in Gifu, Japan. In the first round, she played compatriot and world number 183 Rika Fujiwara. In only her fourth match on the tour for 11 years, Date won 2-6, 6-4, 6-4. At the quarter-final stage, Date came up against world number 80 and fellow Japanese Aiko Nakamura, whom she beat 7-6, 4-6, 6-3. This marked her first top 100 win of her comeback. In her semi-final match, she defeated number 3 seed Melanie South 7-6, 6-3. However, in the final, she was defeated by Tamarine Tanazagan of Thailand in 3 sets, 6-4, 5-7, 2-6. She won the doubles title at the tournament with teenage and fellow Japanese partner Kurumi Nara, defeating Melanie South and Nicole Thyssen in a match tiebreaker, 6-1, 6-7, 10-7. Date's next event was another 50K ITF event in Fukuoka, Japan. She defeated both Nicole Kris and Rika Fujiwara to reach the quarter-finals where she lost to Aiko Nakamura in straight sets, 6-2, 6-2. She then defeated Shohei Zamatsu and Zoe Mure to reach the quarter-final where she lost to Tomoko Yonemura in straight sets, 6-2, 6-2, in another tournament in Japan, a 50K event in Kurumu. On June 15, 2008, she defeated Shoakita 6-3, 6-2 to win the Tokyo Area International Ladies Open for her first post-comeback championship. Her second post-comeback championship came over a month after, as on July 20, she won a 25K ITF event in Miyazaki, Japan, defeating Chi Kyung-yi in the final, 6-3, 6-2. On August 3 she won the 25K ITF event in Obihiro, Japan. In the final she beat Suchan Unvarat Prasats 6-3, 7-6. Date made her WTA Tour comeback at the Tirai event in Tokyo, Japan, where she has been awarded a wildcard into the qualifying tournament. She won through to the final round of qualifying after defeating Mari Tanaka of Japan and Australian Casey Dell'Acqua. Both of these victories came in tight 3-set matches. She lost in the final round to Alexandra Wozniak of Canada in straight sets, 6-1, 6-1. Along with fellow Japanese Fujiwara, Date also competed in doubles, as WC entrant. However, they lost in 3 tight sets 6-3, 3-6, 10-8 tiebreak in the first round. Date was in the main draw for the AIG Japan Open Tennis Championships but lost in the first round to Shaha Paya. In October, Date played her first tournament out of Japan since November 1996. She had a quarter-final showing at the OEC Taipei Ladies Open. In November, Date competed at the All Japan Tennis Championship, her first appearance there in 16 years. Date won both the singles and doubles titles. 2009, Date received a wild card entrant to the main draw of the 2009 ASB Classic in Auckland, where she was overpowered by Jill Krabers in the first round. Later in January, Date qualified for the Australian Open and met Kaakainpi in the first round, where she lost a close match, battling a tough 3-setter before losing 4-6, 6-4, 6-8. Date then played in the main draw of the international event in Pattaya City, Thailand. In the first round, she was defeated by the 8th-seeded Slovak Magdala Copyright-Naribarikova in 3 sets, 2-6, 6-4, 4-6. She then reached the quarter-finals of an ITF event in Clearwater, Florida, beating Lauren Embry of the USA and fellow Japanese player Aiko Nakamura before losing to third-seeded Slovak Jarmila Graf in 3 sets, 6-3, 5-7, 5-7. She then played at a $25,000 ITF event in Hammond, Louisiana where she breezed past qualifier Heidi Eltubach 6-2, 6-0. She then beat American Lauren Albanese in the round of 16 for a place in the quarter-finals where she lost to qualifier Lindsay Lee Waters in 3 sets. Date moved on to the $75,000 ITF in Monza Cubden, Spain, her first European event since July 1996. Seeded 6th, victories over Spaniard Eva Fernandez-Bruges and Croat Ana Vrlja took her to the quarter-finals. In the quarter-finals she beat British top seed Elena Baltica 5-7, 6-4, 7-6. She followed that win by beating Aranchks Paris Santanjar 6-4, 7-5 to reach the final. In the final Date earned a 7-5, 6-2 victory over Romanian qualifier Alexandra Dalgiru to claim the biggest title of her comeback that far. Date was awarded a wildcard entry to the 2009 Wimbledon Championships. This was her first competition at Wimbledon in 13 years. In the first round she lost to 9th seed Caroline Wozniacki 7-5, 3-6, 1-6 with her performance in the second and third sets diminished due to an injury. In the 2009 Guangzhou International Women's Open, Date, partnering Sun Tianchen, reached her first WTA Tour final since she has come back to the WTA Tour, but lost after a tight match 6-3, 2-6, 8-10. At the 2009 Hansol Korea Open in Seoul, Date won her first WTA Tour level match after the return, against Lee Yi-ra, and came up with a second victory right after over Elisa Klibanova, coming back from a set and 5-2 down. In the quarter-finals Kimiko defeated top seed Daniela Hantucheva in 3 sets lasting over 2.5 hours. Date-Krumm prevailed with a score 7-6, 4-6, 6-4. In the semi-finals she defeated defending champion Maria Kirilenko 3-6, 6-2, 6-4. In the final, which was held one day before her 39th birthday, Date-Krumm defeated Annabelle Medina Garrigues 6-3, 6-3 to win her first WTA Tour title since her comeback. Thus, she became the second oldest player in the Open era to win a singles title on the WTA Tour, after Billie Jean King, who won Birmingham in 1983, aged 39 years, 7 months and 23 days. Date-Krumm then received a wildcard to play at the inaugural 2009 Commonwealth Bank Tournament of Champions, a year-end championships, held in Bali, Indonesia. She was in Group C, along with Janina Wickmeyer and Annabelle Medina Garrigues. She lost her first match against Wickmeyer by a close 6-7, 2-6, but she won her second match against Medina Garrigues 6-4, 6-3. Due to Wickmeyer's ban from the sport for 1 year, Date-Krumm made the semi-finals but lost to top seed Marion Bartoli. 2010, Date-Krumm started 2010 with participation at the 2010 ASB Classic, in Auckland where she received a wildcard to enter the main draw. She beat former world number 5 Anna Shakhvtadze in the first round by 6-1, 6-2, and then recovered from a set down to beat 5th seed Virginie Razzano 3-6. 6-3, 6-2 for her first win over a top 20 opponent since her comeback. In the quarter-finals Date-Krumm was beaten 6-2, 6-2 by the third seed and eventual champion Janina Wickmeyer. Date-Krumm then qualified for 2010 Medibank International Sydney, a premier tournament. In the opening round she defeated Nadia Petrova 6-3, 5-7, 6-4 for her second top 20 victory of 2010. In the second round Date-Krumm came close to claiming her first top 10 win since 1996 when she pushed world number 7 Victoria Azarenka 1-6, 7-5, 5-7 having at one stage trailed 1-6, 2-4. Date-Krumm competed at the Australian Open in Melbourne, the first time since her comeback that she has had direct acceptance into a Grand Slam main draw. In the first round she fell to Yaroslava Shvedova in straight sets. In February, Date-Krumm played for Japan's Fed Cup team for the first time since 1996. By winning all of her 4 matches, she was instrumental in securing her team's advance to the World Group 2 playoffs. At the PTT Pattaya Open in Pattaya City, Thailand, Date-Krumm was seeded 7th but fell to Anastasia Rodionova in the first round. Date-Krumm defeated Melinda Zink in the first round of the 2010 BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells before falling to number 15 seed Francesca Yavone 6-3, 6-4 in the second. Date-Krumm also made it to the second round of the 2010 Sony Ericsson Open in Miami by defeating former top 10 player Anna Shakhvtade 7-5, 3-6, 6-4. Date-Krumm then lost to number 16 seed Nadia Petrova 6-3, 7-6. Date-Krumm began her clay court season at the 2010 Estoril Open in Portugal. In the first round, she outlasted 19-year-old Petra Marcia, defeating her in 3 hours and 12 minutes 6-7, 7-5, 7-6. Date-Krumm played Anastasia Sevastova in the second round, but retired due to a recurring calf injury. At the second Grand Slam tournament of the year, the 2010 French Open, Date-Krumm defeated number 9 seed and former world number 1, 2009 runner-up Dinara Safina in the first round 3-6, 6-4, 7-5, despite being 2-4 down in the second set and 2 breaks down at 1-4 in the third, plus having an apparent calf injury. This was her first win in a Grand Slam's main draw since 1997 and at 39y26d, she became the oldest player ever to beat a top 10 player. She was defeated by wildcard Jarmila Graf 6-0, 6-3 in the second round. In Stanford, Date-Krumm again defeated Safina, 4-6, 7-6, 6-2 in the first round, after trailing by a set and 2-0. Following the conclusion of the U.S. Open Series, Date-Krumm, ranked number 50, became the oldest top 50 player since Billie Jean King in 1984. At the U.S. Open, Date-Krumm received direct entry into the main draw but lost to 2-time Grand Slam champion Svetlana Kostsova in the first round 2-6, 6-4, 1-6. She then traveled to Seoul to defend her title at the 2010 Hansol Korea Open but lost in the quarterfinals to a Agnes Sarve. 1 week later, she accepted wild-card entry at the 2010 Toray Pan Pacific Open in Tokyo. She beat the defending champion and former world number 1, Maria Sharapova, in the first round 7-5, 3-6, 6-3. She then faced Daniela Hantucheva in the second round and won 2-6, 6-0, 4-0 after Hantucheva retired. This was on her 40th birthday. She then lost to French Open champion Francesca Yavone in the third round 6-3, 6-3. Later on that same week, she went to China to participate at the China Open. She beat Annabelle Medina Garrig 6-0, 6-4 in the first round, but lost to Elena Dementieva 6-3, 1-6, 6-3 in the second round. Kimiko then returned home to compete at the 2010 Horsepower Open in Osaka, Japan. Seeded 6th, she defeated teenage qualifier Laura Robson in the first round 6-3, 6-3 and compatriot Aiko Nakamura 6-2, 6-0. In the quarterfinals she upset top seed and world number 8 Samantha Stosa 5-7, 6-3, 7-6 to book a semi-final encounter with third seed Shahar Peer. She beat Shahar Peer 3-6, 7-6, 7-5 but lost the final match to unseeded Tamarine Tanazagan 7-5, 6-7, 6-1. With the reaching of the final in Osaka, she once again entered the top 50 WTA rankings at number 48. Also, this final in Osaka had the oldest combined age of WTA tournament finalists at 73. Date-Krumm then received a wild card to enter the 2010 Commonwealth Bank Tournament of Champions in Bali, Indonesia for the second time in a row. Despite at one point having her serve broken 7 consecutive times, she defeated first-seeded Li Nao in the quarter-finals by 6-4, 3-6, 6-4 after being down 1-3 in the third set. She lost to Ana Ivanovic in the semi-finals 7-5, 6-7, 6-2, but won the third-place match against Daniela Hantuchova by the scoreline of 7-5, 7-5. With that performance in Bali, she is once again in the top 50 of the WTA rankings, moving up to number 46, but falling back to finish the year at number 51. Date-Krumm's last activity of 2010 was participation in the 2010 Asian Games, where she won a bronze medal in singles and with Japan in the team competition. 2011. Date-Krumm's first 2 tournaments of 2011 were in the 2011 ASB Classic and 2011 Muirila Hobart International. She would go on to lose in both first rounds to Katarina Bondarenko 6-4, 6-3, then Angelique Kerber 7-5, 7-6 the following week. Date-Krumm's next tournament was the 2011 Australian Open, where she lost a close encounter 4-6, 6-4, 5-7 to 12th seed Anska Radwanska in the first round. Date-Krumm held a 4-1 lead in the final set when her opponent called a medical timeout. When play resumed, she suffered from cramps and found it hard to move, losing 6 of the final 7 games after the rhythm of the match had been interrupted, as she stated in her post-match interview. Date-Krumm earned her first victory of the 2011 season at the 2011 PTT Pattaya Open, defeating Renata Vora Infinite over 6-2, 6-2. At the 2011 BNP Paribas Open, Date-Krumm gained direct entry into the tournament. In the first round she defeated Yaroslava Shvedova, in straight sets, but lost to Ana Ivanovic in the second round. She then also reached a second round of 2011 Sony Ericsson Open, but again lost to Ivanovic in straight sets. Date-Krumm then suffered 4 consecutive losses in her clay court campaign, in Barcelona, Madrid, Rome, and Strasbourg. In the French Open she lost in straight sets in the first round to world number 1 Caroline Wozniacki. She started out the grass season with a surprise doubles championship with Xia Zhang in the Nottingham ITF tournament. But her singles losing streak continued, as she lost in the first round of Birmingham to eventual champion Sabine Lisicki. The week after, she ended her 7 consecutive losses in Herzogenaurach, where she defeated 6th-seeded Maria Kirilenko 7-6, 6-2 in the first round, and Lourdes Dorman-Waslino 7-6, 6-0 in the second round. In her first quarter-finals appearance in 2011, she lost to Romana Oprandi 6-7, 4-6. Date-Krumm then appeared at Wimbledon, where she defeated British wildcard Katie O'Brien 6-0, 7-5. This win also marked her first main draw victory at Wimbledon in 15 years. In the second round, after winning the opening set, Date-Krumm lost a close-fought match on centre court to former world number 1 and 23rd seed Venus Williams 7-6, 3-6, 6-8 in a match lasting 2 hours, 56 minutes. With her partner Zhang Xiai, Date-Krumm advanced to the third round of the ladies' doubles at Wimbledon for the first time in her career. After qualifying for the 2011 Western and Southern Open, Date-Krumm had an accident falling in the bathtub and injuring her left hand, forcing her out of competition for 4 to 6 weeks, requiring her to pull out of the tournament and not playing competitively until losing in the first round of the 2011 U.S. Open to Silvia Sola Espinosa 7-6, 7-6. At the HP Open, Date-Krumm again teamed with Zhang Xiai and defeated Vania King and Yaroslava Shvedova 7-5, 3-6, 11-9, in the doubles final to win her first WTA-level doubles title since 1996. Date-Krumm then flew to Europe to participate at the BGL Luxembourg Open but lost in the first round. At this point, her ranking fell to world number 144. Post to her loss in Luxembourg, Date-Krumm had good runs participating at 3 higher-tier tournaments in the ITF circuit. She came in victorious in Poitiers and placed runner-up in both Taipei and Toyota. Her good runs in the ITF circuit brought her ranking back to within the top 100. Date-Krumm finished 2011 ranked 87th in the world, her third successive top 100 finish since her 2008 comeback. 2012, Date-Krumm started her year participating at an ITF 50,000+ event in Kunshe, China as the first seed in both singles and doubles. She came in victorious in singles, winning the title by beating Tamé Babo 6-3, 6-3 in the final. And finished as the runner-up in doubles, partnering with Zhang Xiai, Tachan Hao-Ching and Rika Fujiwara 6-4, 4-6, 7-10. At the 2012 Australian Open, Date-Krumm lost in the first round to Eleni Danailado 3-6, 2-6 in singles, and with Zhang Xiai, lost in the first round in doubles to 14th seeds Xie Sui and Galina Voskoboeva 2-6, 1-6. However, she and Kari Nishikori received a wild-card entry into the mixed doubles draw and, in her first ever Grand Slam mixed doubles match, defeated the team of Gislad Ulko and Eduardo Schwank 6-4, 6-1 to advance to the round of 16. Then, Date-Krumm earned her first WTA main draw victory of the season in Pattaya by reaching the second round where she lost to Xie Sui. She lost in the first round of Monterrey and reached a second round of Indian Wells where she lost to Vera Zvonova. In the first round of Miami, she faced former world number 1 Venus Williams for the second time. She lost 0-6, 3-6. After consecutive losses in Charleston and Copenhagen, she played at an ITF 50,000 event in Gifu, Japan as the first seed. She eventually won the title after defeating Nobuan Lichiwa-Khan 6-1, 5-7, 6-3 in the final. She then lost first round 7-6, 6, 3-2 at ITF Cannes-sur-Mer when she had to retire against Anastasia Yakumova. Following this, she made the quarter-finals of ITF Prague losing to number 2 seed Klara Zakapalova 2-6, 6-0, 6-4. Date-Krumm then lost in the first round of 10 consecutive tournaments, all of which were WTA or Grand Slam events except for ITF Nottingham. Nevertheless, she finished the year strong. She made the quarter-finals of ITF Limoges losing to Stephanie Virgil 2-6, 6-4, 6-4. She then lost narrowly in the first round of ITF Poitiers 3-6, 7-6, 4, 6-4 to Elena Vesnina. She then made the quarter-finals of WTA Taipei losing to Kristina Mladenovic 6-3, 6-0. From here, Date-Krumm caught fire making the finals of each of her next 3 tournaments. She lost to Elena Svitolina at the WTA Pune final 6-2, 6-3. And to Stephanie Virgil 7-6, 3, 6-4 at the ITF Toyota final. She then won ITF Al Habsha beating Yulia Putintseva 6-1, 3-6, 6-4. This was her last tournament of the year. She ended the calendar year ranked 99 on December 31, 2012, securing a berth in the upcoming 2013 Australian Open, and finishing in the top 100 for a 4th consecutive calendar year. 2013. Date-Krumm started the year narrowly losing to Ying Ingduan in the first round of WTA Shenzhen 7-6, 5, 7-5 after going through qualifying. She then went through qualifying in Sydney and lost to Agnieszka Radwanska in the round of 16 6-4 6-3. At the 2013 Australian Open, Date-Krumm won a singles match in this tournament for the first time since 1996, defeating number 12 seed Nadia Petrova in straight sets, and becoming the oldest woman to ever win a main draw singles match in the Australian Open. She beat Shaha Peo in the second round, but then lost to Serbian Bojana Jovanovski. She went on to lose in the second round of Pattaya City to Amy Morita 4-6 6-4 6-1. After a string of losses in Fed Cup and Florianopolis, she made the second round of Indian Wells, pushing Elena Vesnina to 3 sets, losing 3-6, 7-5, 6-1. She made the second round of Miami, losing to Venus Williams 7-6, 3, 3-6, 6-4. She retired in her first and second round matches at Monterrey and ITF Gifu. Date-Krumm skipped most of the clay court season, choosing only to participate in one warm-up tournament prior to the French Open. At Strasbourg, she picked up a 6th WTA doubles title, partnering with Chanel Schepers. She began the grass court season in Birmingham, losing first round to Alla Kudryavtseva 6-4, 7-6, 3. At Wimbledon, she impressed many by becoming the oldest female ever to reach the third round, losing to Serena Williams 6-2, 6-0. She lost in the quarter-finals of ITF Vancouver and in qualifying at Cincinnati. She lost first round at the U.S. Open to Paula Ormarichia 6-3, 7-6, 7. She lost in the quarter-finals of Seoul to Francesca Yavone 4-6, 6-4, 6-4 after beating second seed Maria Kirilenko in the second round 6-3, 6-1. Her WTA year-end ranking was 54th, but finished the calendar year ranked 75th due to losses in qualifying and early rounds of Tokyo, Beijing, Osaka, Nanjing, and Taipei near the end of the year. This was the 5th consecutive calendar year she finished in the top 100. 2014, in the round of 16 at Brisbane, Date-Krumm pushed Cibulkova to 3 sets, losing 6-3, 1-6, 6-3. After qualifying and first-round losses at Sydney in the Australian Open, she lost in the quarter-finals of Pattaya City to Ekaterina Makarova in 3 sets. She lost in qualifying and early rounds of Acapulco, Indian Wells, and Miami. She made the semi-finals of Monterrey, losing to Giovanna Jack 6-7, 5, 6-4, 6-4. She lost in early rounds of Kuala Lumpur and Seoul. She then lost in the first round of the French Open to Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova 6-3, 0-6, 6-2. She made the quarter-finals of Birmingham, losing to Casey Dellacqua 6-1, 6-0. She lost first round of Wimbledon to eventual quarter-finalist Ekaterina Makarova 3-6, 6-4, 7-5. She lost early in Stanford, Montreal, and Cincinnati. She lost in the first round of the U.S. Open to Venus Williams 2-6, 6-3, 6-3, but made the semi-finals of doubles with Barbora Zalova-Vostrikova. She retired from her second-round match in Hong Kong, losing to Francesca Yavone. She then lost first round in Tokyo to Victoria Azarenka 3-6, 6-0, 6-2. In October she matched her career-high doubles ranking of 33. Playing style: since her comeback, Date-Krumm plays best on grass, and her style is all stealthy, neat athleticism. Personal life: Date-Krumm was born in Kyoto, Japan. Her father is Juichi and her mother is Masako. She has 2 siblings, Ryusuke and Junko. Date-Krumm first played tennis at the age of 6. She is left-handed, but was trained to play right-handed to follow Japanese custom. She was the tennis champion at Sonoda High School, where she graduated in 1989. She married German motor racing driver Michael Krumm on December 1, 2001 at St. Mary's Cathedral, Tokyo. They currently reside in Tokyo. WTA Career Finals, Singles, 16, WTA 125's Finals, Doubles, 10, ITF Circuit, Singles, Singles Performance Timeline, Key, 1 Tournament. Or reached Final. Semi-Final. Quarter-Final. Round 4, 3, 2, 1. Competed at a round-robin stage. Lost in qualification round. Absent from tournament event. Played in a Davis Cup zonal group or playoff. Won a bronze, silver or gold medal at the Olympics. A downgraded Masters Series/1000 tournament. Or a tournament that was not held in a given year. To avoid confusion and double counting, these charts are updated either at the conclusion of a tournament, or when the player's participation in the tournament has ended. Doubles performance timeline, video games, Date Kimiko no virtual tennis, references. External links, official website, Kimiko Date at the Women's Tennis Association, Kimiko Date-Krumm at the International Tennis Federation, Kimiko Date-Krumm at the Fed Cup.